Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Eloheinu, Yahweh Echad, Yabarakakam Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushua. Hear, O Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. May Yahweh bless you in the name of Yahushua. This is your brother once again coming at you, Parashah Yasharallah, with Banya Yasharallah of Mashara Yasharallah, with the Torah portion, okay, of Pekudei or Pakuyadwa. He numbered Shalom Lakam Masha Aliyah Yasharallah. All right, so today we're going to be going over Torah portion, but I want everybody to remember, okay? Next sunset, the next night right now. If you're in India, that means the next sunset is going to be the new month. That means no work, no play, no buying, no selling, no sex, none of your own pleasures on the holy day of the new moon. All right, so the new moon is coming up. Hezekiah Shalom. The new moon is coming up, okay, in a couple of days, and tomorrow night. Also remember that in 30 nights after that, all right, we're going to go into the new year, which is going to be so-called April 4th. Right, this month is starting on March 5th. All right, so, and then Passover is going to start on April 18th. Passover, all right, Feast of Unleavened Bread. And then the last day of Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, is going to begin on April 24th, all right, to April 25th. All right, so Shalom Lakat to you, Hezekiah, again. Chazak Yah. All praise to Yahweh Bashem Hamashiach Yahushua. Much love to you. All right, so now remember, the Most High operates decently and in order, and He gave us rules and regulations that we're supposed to be following as templates, as well as for guidance in everything we do in life, right? And His Torah, the law, is no exception to that. That's what He gave us as the framework to what is right and what is wrong. And you have to make sure that everything you're doing lines up with the Torah. You cannot just do what you want to do, make your own decisions without any regard for what the Torah of Yahweh says. You have to also make sure that you're doing everything according to the Torah of Yahweh, which are the commandments and the laws of Yahweh. So we can't reiterate that enough. Okay? Can't reiterate that enough. The 18th on the evening, Hezekiah, is when the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread starts. And then as the sun is going down on the 18th, that's when you do the Passover. All right, so the 18th, when the sun is still up, you do the Passover, the lamb, the ceremony with the lamb and the bread, the lamb and the bread and the wine, okay, as well as the bitter herbs. So the lamb, the bread, the wine, and the bitter herbs. Those 4 things you need for your Pesach service. Pesach, not Pesach. So for your Pesach service. All right, so bam. The Torah portion we're in is kind of just, we've been over these things. Most of us, I want you to make this. Then we see it repeated again. Now we're going to see it repeated again. So now these items that we're going to need are actually getting made. All right. And we're going to read chapter 39 of Exodus, verses 2 through 21. Now, if you got a King James Bible, your 2 through 21 is going to actually go into chapter 32, all right, verses 1, 2, and 3, all right, because that last verse, verse 21, says, and they fastened the chosen hoops, all right, and they fastened the chosen hoops by its rings to the rings of the ephod, as Yahweh commanded Moses. All right, so it says, I'm sorry, I'm in chapter 31. Sorry, it's my bad. All right, so I'm in chapter 39, verse 2 through 21. All right, my mistake. So credit make mistakes, but you have to admit that you made a mistake, repent. I'm sorry I made that mistake, y'all, and let's move on forward. Don't throw it in my face again. All right, so we're in chapter 39, verse 2. And he made the ephod of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into wires, to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen with cunning work. They made shoulder pieces for it, to couple it together. By the two edges was it coupled together. And the curious girdle of his ephod that was upon it was of the same, according to the work thereof, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And they brought onyx stones, enclosed in ouches of gold, graven as signets are graven, with the names of the children, or the Banya Yasharala, or Bnei Israel, and he put them on the shoulders of the ephod, that they should be as stones for a memorial to the children of Yasharala, Banya Yasharala, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. And he made the breastplate of cunning work, like the work of the ephod, of gold, blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was 4 square. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and the span the thereof being doubled. And they set in it 4 rows of stones. The first row was a sardius, a topaz, and a carbuncle. This was the first row. The second row, an emerald, a diamond, and a sapphire. So like an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. All right, verse 12. And the third row, a ligure, an agate, and an amethyst. And the fourth row, a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in ouches of gold in their enclosings. The stones were according to the names of the Banya Yasharala, the children of Israel, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name, according to the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate chains at the end of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 ouches of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings in the ends of the breastplate, and put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings on the end of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the wreathen chains they fastened in the 2 ouches, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And they made 2 rings of gold and put them on the 2 ends of the breastplate upon the border of it, which was in the side of the ephod inward. And they made 2 other golden rings and put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart of it, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by his rings into the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it might be above the curious work, the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as Yahweh commanded Moshe. So these are getting into the holy priest attire. All right. So of course, the first obvious scripture that I'm going to go to, the first obvious scripture we're going to go to, all right, dealing with our conduct and our presentation of ourselves to the world as children of Yasharallah, Banya Yasharallah. All right. Any type of wine, Hezekiah, for the Pesach, should be grape wine, not scripture. Scripture doesn't say grape, but anytime you see grapes in the scriptures, talks about grape wine. Should be maybe like a dark grape wine that will stain your clothes. All right. From grapes that will stain your clothes if they get on your clothes. Remember in Isaiah 63, it talks about Yahweh's garments looked like they were stained as one who was treading a wine press. So it needs to be a good wine, right? With a lot of heavy grape content. Concord grape by Manischewitz is usually what we use, has a high grape content. Natural grape, natural Concord grape. The obvious scripture we're going to go to when we're talking about the priest, the holy priest, and his garments are going to be into Exodus chapter 19 and verse 6. He says, "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests and an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the Banya Yasharallah, unto the children of Israel." So the Most High said, you guys, children of Yasharallah, you're going to be priests to me. All right, so when you read about these clothing, we read that the priest, had a certain kind of clothes that he would wear. You knew he was a priest. So if you're going to be a king and a priest, a kingdom of priests, how are you going to be recognized as a kingdom of priests if you have on the wrong uniform? You got on a slave's uniform. You got on a hussy's uniform. All right. You got on a drug dealer's uniform. All right. You got on a Wall Street uniform. You got on a police uniform. You got on a hooker's uniform. You got on a gigolo uniform. You got on a gangbanger's uniform. All right. None of these uniforms are the uniforms that the children of Yasharallah wore in righteousness. So if you represent the Most High on a spiritual level, and you calling yourself a priest, and you're saying you should be a priest, as we see Yahweh said that we're going to be a kingdom of priests. When you look in the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, the Most High tells you, the spirit of wisdom, Chakma, that a man is going to dress as he really is. A man is going to dress as he really is. That's how you're going to be known. That's what's going to tell us and show us what you are, who you are. If you are a woman, you always want to make sure you got that little bit or that lot of bit of cleavage showing. You want to make sure that the knit skirt just hugs just a little bit of the backside of your bottom on the back of your skirt. Just hug just a little bit, just to catch the eye a little bit. is you want to make sure that, you know, the lips got just a little bit of shimmer and sparkling on it, so everybody just draws their attention to your lips when you're talking to them. All right, you want to make sure, brother, that your shirt is just a little bit tight so you can see all your muscles. All right, you can see all your muscles and your ripples in your shirt. You see your 12 pack. That's the Most High, you know, showing us that tells where your spirit is at by how you dress, right? Because when we look in the book of Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 19, verse 30, all right? Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 30. It says, a man's attire, so the clothes that a man wears, and excessive laughter. A man, when, you know, laughs a lot and goofy dude, all right? And gait, your gait shows about your walk with your feet, and your walk also, you know, with your lifestyle, how you do things. Show what he is. So those are the things that are saying show what you are. You know, how you laugh, how you walk, all right, and the type of clothes you wear. That shows what you are. So that's why the Most High said, you a priest, these are the things that you have to be wearing. You got to wear your robe. You have to wear your tunic. All right. You have to wear your choshen or your ephod, your breastplate. All right. You got to wear your mitri. You got to wear the crown that says Kodash, holy unto Yahweh. All right. So you have to wear all these things because that shows who you are. That shows what you are. So as you wearing clothes that's like we wore in Yahweh's time and before, that shows that you're Israelite that's trying to put yourself in the righteous mindset of Yahweh, you know, and before. That's what it shows. All right. So we have to be careful of the clothing that we're wearing and make sure that our clothing is reflective of the office that we want to be associated with. So if you are a righteous, you strive, you're a son or a daughter of Zion that's striving for righteousness, then your clothing should reflect that also. But not just your outer clothing that you see, that you put on, that people can look at you wearing, but also your inner clothing. How do you adorn your inner man? How do you adorn your spirit? How do you act inside with your thoughts and your actions? You see? So now we have to go into the spirit of how we're supposed to be. We got to go into the spirit of the clothing that we're supposed to wear. Why? Because these things can be like magnets. These things can attract and draw, you know, people to us, and they can attract and draw spirits also. You see? So now with these priests, the Most High said, these are the righteous things I want you to be wearing. And wisdom was actually serving the people, serving Yahweh inside of the temple of the Most High. All right, inside the tabernacle of the Most High. All right, so this is, you know, the Torah portion that we have for today. And we can look in Ecclesiasticus chapter 19, verse 30, and it talks about the clothing that a man wears shows you or shows that man, you know, who he really is. What is he really on? All right. Now, when we look at, you know, how the scripture is, you know, the description, you know, that we have of the clothing, all right. Now we see that the Most High, these are directions that are coming directions directly from the Most High, all right, from Yahweh. So Yahweh is saying, look, this blue, purple, scarlet cloth that you all made is going to be for this specific purpose. All right. This ephod, the gold was all together. So now they took the gold and they beat it real small. Torah. They beat it Torah. All right, real thin. And then they took that and made that thin sheet of gold and made it into golden thread. So they put the gold, the blue, the purple, and the scarlet together, and they made a weave pattern for the garment or for the ephod and whatnot. All right. So now the ephod has 3 rows going across. And if you look at those rows, it will be written from the right side to the left side with the names of the children of Yasharallah. The right side to the left side, there were 3 jewels, and they were written in the order of the birth of the children of Yasharallah. Then you have the 2 onyx stones that were on the shoulder, and these onyx stones, the names are written, all right, from the oldest to the youngest, the first 6, all right, then the oldest to the youngest on the right shoulder, okay, going from left to right of the next 6 sons of Yaakov, all right. So that's Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 32. Right, Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 32 verse 30, Hezekiah. All right, so these are the 4 stones, the 12 stones that were used for the garments, and then we had the golden rings. Everything was fixed and perfect together, and some of these things were metal, so the metal was fastened to the garment, and then they had a metal ring that was fastened to that metal casing for the stones. And then once they had the metal casing for the stones, they had the ring attached to it. Then they went down to help actually hold up the breastplate. All right, to actually hold up the breastplate. So that's what we'll go into. For right now, there's not a. Let's see. There's not and we don't want to stay on here too long tonight. But that that would pretty much summarize everything that we want to really summarize everything that we want to go into tonight. All right, so may the Most High be with you all. Remember, the next new moon is tomorrow night, March 5th. And then after that, which is going to be April 4th, is when we're going to go into the new year, which is going to be in 31 nights from right now. Because tomorrow night is going to be the Kadash. So after that, you got 30 more. So it's 31 nights is going to be the new year. And then the Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread is going to be on the 18th in the afternoon, and also it's going to be on the 18th at sunset, going into the actual Feast of Unleavened Bread. And then after that, we're going to go into the 7th day of Passover, which is going to be on the 7th day of Passover, which begins on the Gentile calendar in April 24th to April 25th. So now, another thing I want to try to go into real quick is just with the clothing. I want to deal with the clothing again. I want to go into Galatians. All right. I want to go into the book of Galatians. I want to go to Galatians chapter 5, and I want to read verse 8, verse 19. Now are the works of the flesh. Now the works of the flesh are manifest: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness. So now this last one, lasciviousness, is when you talk or mainly dressing in a way that's going to make somebody get aroused. I'm not talking about you just wearing regular clothes and people just got perverted and twisted minds. I mean, you go walk in the street basically naked with some jeggings on, with you gotta your body is showing. So that's lasciviousness. It's not about it's not about people being able to control themselves. You should be dressed properly and do things decently and in order, when you leave your house. All right. So the Most High says that lasciviousness is one of the works of the flesh. And if we engage in the works of the flesh, Scripture says we shall not enter. It says they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. So if you're being lascivious, meaning your dress style, you got your, when a man dresses, he should not have his loins exposed because his shirt is too short. Every man within the sound of my voice should be wearing tunics because that's what our fathers wore. The Gentiles introduced wearing short shirts and stuff like that to us. We didn't dress like that. Even if we had on pants, which we did wear pants, but even if we did wear pants, we still made sure that we had on, a tunic with our pants. All right. So the scripture says that if you do lasciviousness, meaning you a sexual way, you dress in a certain way, you won't see the kingdom of heaven. All right. So now, another point we want to bring out is that, and I kind of touched on it earlier when we talked about, how you should be dressing. All right. When we go into 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 4, it says, "But let it be the hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, even the ornament, or even the ornament, or you could say, of a meek and quiet spirit, which is in the sight of Yahweh of great price." So the woman's supposed to be making sure that she's adorning her spirit, all right, with a meek and what? Meek and quiet spirit, not enticing, revealing. Most of your knit clothes that we wear, clothes that are real clingy on your body, like this t-shirt, for example. See this t-shirt? If I let this t-shirt go, it snaps right back to my skin. If I let this go, she just falls down. I let the garment go, see, it just falls down. But this t-shirt is stretching off my skin, see? When you look at the sleeve right here, see that? Just, and it's fitted on my shoulder, you see? It's fitted on me. You see that? You can't see it good because it's black, but it's fitted on me. So now some of you women, this will be your bottom. This could be your bottom. And you'll walk out the house with this just fitting all on your bottom. And you're not supposed to dress like that. Or you'll have this fit kind of hugging your breast like this. And you're not supposed to dress like that. Everything's supposed to be, nice, neat, but loose. You're not supposed to have, everything just tight all on your body. All right, all on your body. Right? That's actually strange apparel. Right? Strange apparel. All right. When you go into Zephaniah chapter 1 and 8, that's not the apparel that the children of Israel were wearing. So Peter is saying you have to have on what? You have to adorn yourself. All right. You have to dress yourself in what? With a meek and a quiet spirit. So you can't be meek and quiet if you're trying to have everybody look at you and what you got on because you want attention and you think that you're looking good. Or you think that you're looking good. So now, these are the things that we have to be aware of when we out shopping, when we teaching women, when we teaching people about the word of the Most High, about the commandments of the Most High, right? That our uniform is indeed the uniform of somebody that's representing the Most High, not somebody that's representing the world, not somebody that's representing, Gentile fashion trends, but somebody that's representing the Most High power of Abraham and of Isaac and of Jacob. So the clothes you wear have to be representative of the Most High, okay, at all times, because you have to be a new creature, and the old man, the old woman must die. Right, they like to have those clothes on a certain kind of way and tight and fitted, and then people start to lust All right. Now, it's not your fault that somebody's lusting, but you putting temptation in front of somebody by doing something that Yahweh said not to do. All right. As a man and a woman, you have to be careful about that. So now, if you represent the priest, if you represent being a princess of Yasharallah or being a prince of Yasharallah, then you should dress like the royalty, that we are, because the Most High said that we are a nation of kings and priests, and we're going to be made into a nation, of kings and priests. So let's keep that in mind, and let's remember the Most High said He wanted gold, blue, red, right, and purple inside this priest garment, and He wanted linen. So we got clothes that's made with those things. The Most High doesn't have a problem with that. All right. So those are apparently colors that are significant, to Him. And we've discussed the significance of those colors: the red for the sacrifice, and for the blood of Yahweh Shemashah, as well as the Passover lamb and the lamb on the Day of Atonement, or the animal on the Day of Atonement, the goat. Then we talk about the blue, representing the commandment, representing the covenant of the Most High, representing the laws, because He told us to put a blue on the fringes, all right? And then when we look upon the fringe, we're supposed to remember His law. And then, of course, we have the purple, representing the riches, and representing the royalty, and representing the leadership of the children of Yasharallah over all of the other nations on the world, because somebody has to be on top, and Yahweh said that you all are my chosen people, so you're going to be on top. All right, so that's it for now. The clock on the wall says that's all. Now remember, the new moon is tomorrow night on March 5th. The new year is on April 4th to April 5th, sunset to sunset. Now, Passover Feast of Unleavened Bread is going to be April 18th in the afternoon. And then April 18th, when it's dark, sunset, is going to begin the first day of the Feast of Unleavened Bread. And the last day is going to be on April 18th to April 19th. All right. So I hope, everything was edifying to you. Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh, Eloheinu, Yahweh Akkad, Yabaraka Yahweh, Bashem Hamashiach, Yahweh Shai. Hail Israel, Yahweh our power, Yahweh is one. All right. And may Yahweh bless you all. And then may Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, Shalom Alaikum.